2:17 a.m.
Okay, right away.
Yeah.
That is a very specific, very aggressive time of night.
It is. And before we even say hello, I just want everyone listening to stop for a second. Pause whatever you're doing and put yourself in that moment. You know the one.
Oh, I know the one.
It's the dead of night. The world is supposed to be asleep. All the, the ambient noise of the city is gone. You're wrapped in your duvet. You finally drifted off. And then that sound.
That vibration. It's not even a sound, really. It's a vert.
Sharp. You're deliberate.
Yeah, it's not a gentle notification. It's an intrusion. It feels physical against the mattress or the nightstand. It's like something is demanding your attention right now.
Exactly. It just cuts right through the sleep. And in that pitch black room, you roll over, you squint at your phone, and the screen isn't just a light. It's a weapon. It blinds you.
It feels like an interrogation lamp.
It does. And there, on the lock screen, is a notification from a number you do not have saved. +91-00000.
An impossible number. A ghost number.
And the message.
Oh, this is the part.
If you're reading this, you're part of it.
Ugh. See, even hearing you say that out loud right now in broad daylight, it gives me this visceral chill.
Yeah.
Because it's not an accusation, it's a statement of fact.
It implies complicity.
Yes, it implies that the act of simply witnessing, of reading the text, is the crime itself. You're already involved. There's no opting out.
It does. And here's the detail that the author, Swapnil, puts in, it really twists the knife. You unlock the phone, you open the message, and you look at the metadata.
The ticks.
You see those little ticks turn blue, and then you see the scene by list. Scene by 31, scene by 35, scene by 38.
Everyone is awake.
Everyone is awake. 38 people staring at this terrifying, cryptic text in the dark in their own little blue-lit rooms, and absolutely no one is saying a single word.
That's silence.
Yeah.
That's the loudest sound in the world. I mean, sociologists have a term for this, right? It's pluralistic ignorance.
Right.
It's where every single person in a group is thinking the exact same thing. They're all terrified. But because nobody speaks up, everyone privately assumes that they're the only one who's panicking. They assume everyone else is calm.
So everyone just stays quiet, adding to the illusion.
Adding to the terror. It's a feedback loop of fear.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we are unpacking a story called The Goal, based on the source document double-tick-enhanced.docs. And I want to be really clear right off the bat, this sounds like a ghost story.
It does. It starts like a classic horror movie.
The setup is absolutely terrifying, but we are not talking about the supernatural today.
No, we're talking about something that is, frankly, much, much scarier because it is 100% real. We're talking about the architecture of silence.
That's a great way to put it.
We're investigating how a WhatsApp group chat, something we all have dozens of on our phones right now, can be weaponized, not with threats, but with nothing, with silence.
We're going to look at how exclusion is built, brick by brick, or I guess you could say pixel by pixel. We're going to analyze the villain, which it isn't really a person, is it? It's a group dynamic.
It's the hive mind.
And we're going to look at the victim, a character named Maya, and how she is systematically, almost surgically erased.
And through it all, we have to talk about the Swapnil factor.
Right, the author.
You have to.
Because what just stands out to me again and again in this text is the precision of the misery. Swapnil doesn't just say they were mean to her or she felt lonely.
No, it's never that simple.
He uses things like battery percentages and timestamps and typing bubbles to create this very modern, very specific, very relatable anxiety.
Oh, that 7% battery detail.
We've all been there.
Every single one of us. You fell asleep scrolling Instagram, you didn't plug it in, and now you are facing a genuine crisis with no power. It's a perfect metaphor for the whole story.
Yeah. Vulnerable. You're powerless. Exactly. So our mission today is to break this down. We're going to go through the setup, the conflict, the escalation, and that ending, which, fair warning to everyone listening, we need to have a serious discussion about the hover.
The hover. I am still recovering from the hover. I think I'm still hovering, metaphorically.
We will get there, I promise. But let's start at the beginning. Section 1, the setup. The source material calls this the architecture of exclusion. And it doesn't start on a phone screen. It starts in an auditorium.
Chapter 1, the group is created.
And Swapnil sets the scene with this sensory detail that I think is just brilliant. He says the auditorium smelled like cheap deodorant and fear.
I literally stopped reading for a second when I hit that
Me
line.
too.
Because it's so evocative. It's not just words. You can actually smell it. You can feel the sticky floor.
It is. It drags you right back to being 18 years old, that first day of orientation.
And it immediately tells you everything you need to know about the people in that room.
The cheap deodorant is the mask, right?
Yeah, it's the performance. It's the attempt to present this curated, confident, I've got it all together version of yourself. And the fear is the biological reality underneath all of it.
It's the truth.
The truth is that they are all absolutely terrified of being alone for the next 4 years.
It's that classic orientation day energy. You walk into this huge room, you don't know a single person, and you have to make a split-second decision. Who am I going to be here? Which mask am I going to wear?
Exactly. It's a performance. And Swapnil writes, this is a direct quote, that everyone is rehearsing versions of themselves they hoped would stick. And into this environment, into this vacuum of leadership, steps the architect, Kabir.
Kabir. We need to do a character study on Kabir. Because he is not some mustache-twirling villain. Well, we all know a Kabir.
We all know a Kabir. He might even be listening right now. He's the alpha by default, not by merit. Swapnil gives us the visual cues. His hair's gelled into submission. He's got a hoodie that looks just a little too cool, probably borrowed from an older cousin.
Right, he's trying a little too hard.
But it's his energy that matters. He calls everyone bro. He's loud. He's physically taking up space. He's projecting confidence even if he doesn't feel it.
And he's collecting phone numbers like trophies.
That phrase from the text is key, like trophies. It treats the other students not as people to connect with, but as resources to be acquired, as followers. He's building a kingdom from day one.
And he builds the castle. FY Batch 2026, the WhatsApp group.
He creates the container. And this is such a crucial concept in any group dynamic. Whoever creates the container sets the rules of the container. By making himself the admin, Kabir establishes dominance before a single class has even been taught.
And the rules become pretty clear pretty much immediately, right? He sends that first message. If you're reading this, say, present, fire emojis.
It's a loyalty test. It's a roll call for his new army. It's not a question, it's a command.
And everyone floods the chat. It's just validation city. Present, here, let's go. It's a race to show allegiance.
It teaches the group the very first lesson. Participation is currency. If you play along with Kabir, if you feed his ego, you get to be part of the noise. You get to be in.
But then almost immediately we see the flip side. The punishment for breaking the performance. Enter Maya.
Maya, the error in the system, the glitch in the matrix.
Maya makes a mistake. A fatal social mistake in this very specific, very fragile environment. She asks a genuine question.
Or timetable incident.
She types, does anyone have the full timetable? The one they gave us is missing lab timings.
Now let's just pause and look at this objectively. This is a high-value contribution to the group.
It's helpful.
Everyone needs this information. If this were a functioning community, a healthy group, someone would say, oh yeah, good catch. Thanks for pointing that out. Here it is.
But this isn't a community, it's a stage.
Exactly. And Maya just walked onto the stage in the middle of a carefully choreographed musical number and asked where the bathroom is. She broke the vibe. She introduced practicality into a space built on performance.
And the reaction is nothing. Silence. The chat was moving at 100 miles an hour, meme after meme, emoji after emoji, and then suddenly, a dead stop.
This is where Swapnil does something really clever. He puts us inside the head of our protagonist, Arav. And Arav is us. He's the witness. He's the audience proxy.
And he has the answer. He has the PDF of the full timetable on his phone.
He starts typing. The text describes his thumb just hovering over the screen. He types out a message, but he doesn't send it. He hesitates. Why? Why doesn't he send it? This is the question that just haunts the entire text.
It's the central moral conflict of the whole story.
It is. It's the cost of social capital. In that split second, Arav does a mental calculation. He thinks, if I answer the person who is currently being ignored, I associate myself with the uncool element. I risk catching the contagion of silence myself.
It's fear. It is pure, unadulterated high school, first day of college fear.
It's cowardice masquerading as social strategy. He's afraid of breaking the silence that Kabir, the unspoken king, has implicitly authorized.
And while he's hesitating, while that cursor is just blinking on his screen, Rhea enters the chat.
Rhea, the foil. The queen bee to Kabir's king.
And Rhea types, "Hey everyone, so excited to meet you all. There's no content, no timetable, just vibes."
And emojis. Don't forget the emojis. It's a visual explosion of performative happiness.
Yeah.
Sparkles and hearts.
The chat just explodes again. It's like a dam breaking. Hearts. Yes, queen, so excited.
And in that flood of noise, Maya's question is physically pushed up the screen. It's buried under a pile of digital confetti. And Arav, he deletes his draft.
He deletes the helpful answer. Because the moment has passed. The group has collectively, silently decided what matters. And vibes matter more than information. Helpfulness does not.
And there's a piece of, visual horror that Swapnil uses here that I really want to highlight. The typing bubble.
Oh, that killed me. That tiny pulsing animation.
Arav just watches Maya's typing bubble appear and then disappear. And then disappear again.
We've all seen that, and you know exactly what's happening on the other end of that phone. She's trying to figure out how to re-enter the conversation without seeming desperate.
She's thinking, did they not see it? Should I ask again? No, that's annoying. Maybe I should add a smiley face.
She's fighting against the interface itself. The UI is mocking her. She's trying to find the right combination of words to justify her own existence in this digital space, and she realizes there are no words that will work.
And then, the final nail in the coffin of that first day. The member count.
It was 39 members. Then 38.
Ishan leaves the group.
Ishan is the smart one, maybe. He sees the toxicity from a mile away and just bails. No drama, just gone.
Ishan exercises the exit option, which is a valid choice. But Maya stays. She endures it. And Arav sees the count drop, sees the unanswered question, sees the silence, and he goes to sleep.
His battery dies at 7%. The timetable question is never answered. It just hangs there forever.
It's the original sin of the group. The entire foundation of this 4-year community is built on this one small, seemingly insignificant act of passive violence.
It establishes the architecture of exclusion. The group now understands, without anyone ever having to say it out loud, that Maya does not matter. She is an NPC, a non-playable character in their main storyline.
And think about the Swapnil factor here, the author's craft. He doesn't show us Maya crying in her dorm room. He doesn't show us her calling her mom. He only shows us the interface, the silence, the dropping member count.
Which is so much more effective.
He forces us to imagine the human cost, which makes it infinitely worse. He trusts the reader.
So that's the foundation. It's a shaky, toxic foundation. Now we move into section 2, the conflict. The source calls this the language of silence. And we actually need to circle back to Ishan for a second, because before he left, something happened to him too.
Yes, chapter 6 gives us the flashback. It's the math problem scene. It shows us why he left.
And it's the same pattern. Someone asking for help. Ishan asked for help with a difficult math derivation.
And the response is a meme. A cat crying over a calculator.
Okay, I want to play devil's advocate here for a minute. On the surface, that's just a joke, right? It's just college kids being funny. Ha, math is hard. I feel you, bro. Why is this malicious?
Context is everything. It's all about context. If your best friend, who's in the trenches with you, studying for the same exam, sends you that meme, it's bonding. It's, we're in this together, this sucks.
Right, it's solidarity.
But when you ask a group of relative strangers for actual help, and they ignore the request for help, and instead replace it with a joke at your expense, that is what I would call bullying by omission.
Bullying by omission. That is a really powerful term. Explain that.
They aren't typing, "Shut up, Ishan, you're dumb." They are actively attacking him. They are simply saying, your needs are not serious to us. Your struggle is entertainment for us. Your problem is content for our amusement. It invalidates his existence.
And Ishan gets it immediately. He deletes his question. That's the heartbreaking part. He erases his own need from the record.
He would rather erase the proof that he ever needed help than stare at the evidence that nobody cares. It's a defense mechanism. If I delete it, it didn't happen. I wasn't rejected.
And this is so classic, Arav sends the answer.
Too late. Always too late.
He sends the correct derivation after Ishan has already left the group.
Which is the ultimate act of what the text calls useless kindness. It's performative morality. It has nothing to do with helping Ishan. It has everything to do with Arav wanting to feel like a good person.
He's assuaging his own guilt.
Exactly. He wants to be able to tell himself, see, I helped. I'm one of the good guys. But he only helped when there was zero social risk. He whispered the answer into an empty room. It's meaningless.
And this all feeds into the hierarchy of response. Swapnil is very, very clear about the unwritten rules of this digital world. It's a caste system.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
You have the Brahmins of the group chat, that's Kabir, When he speaks, the blue ticks appear in seconds. Replies are instantaneous and fawning.
Then you have the Kshatriyas, the warrior class, the Rhea tier.
Right. She gets validation, hearts, agreement. People piggyback on her ideas.
And then the Maya tier, the
That
untouchables.
tumbleweed, just
Yeah.
nothing. And this isn't just about ignoring her questions. It evolves into something far worse, far more insidious. It evolves into replacement. Let's talk about the second choice message.
This is from Chapter 4. The anonymous texts have started to appear, and Urav receives one that says, I learned to arrive early so I could watch people choose someone else.
Oof. Just that hits you right in the gut. It's the
Ah.
experience of being perpetually the backup plan.
And Swapnil immediately connects it to a flashback, a real-world example involving a bakery. Maya suggests a specific bakery for Kabir's birthday celebration. She types, hey, the Flowerworks has great cheesecake.
And silence. No one replies. Her suggestion just hangs there in the digital space, unwanted.
10 minutes later, Rhea types.
Guys, we should totally go to the Flowerworks. Their cheesecake is a vibe. Almost the exact same suggestion.
And Kabir replies instantly, OMG, yes, perfect, great idea.
This is gaslighting on a group scale. It's a collective conspiracy of dismissal.
It really is. It's the kind of thing that makes you feel like you're going crazy.
It's telling Maya, explicitly, it's not the idea that's the problem, it's you. If the idea comes from Maya's brain, it's noise. If the exact same idea comes from Rhea's brain, it's genius.
It strips Maya of her intellectual property in a weird way. It's like her contributions are invisible until they're laundered through a more popular person.
It's erasure. She is shouting into a void, and the void is stealing her ideas and then shouting back, you don't exist.
And just think about the cumulative effect of that. One time, okay, that's annoying, but 4 years of that, day in, day out, that destroys your sense of self-worth. It completely erodes your belief that you even occupy space in the world.
Which leads perfectly into section 3, the turning point. Because this erasure, it stops being about timetables and bakeries, and it becomes personal. It becomes romantic. We have to talk about what the text calls the main character syndrome.
Kabir and Rhea. The soft launch.
Oh, the soft launch. It's such a modern, bizarre ritual of courtship. This is chapter 5. Rhea posts a photo on her Instagram story.
And you have to describe it for us. The listener needs to visualize this because Swapnil's description is so specific.
It's artfully vague. It's 2 hands on a cafe table. A man's hand and a woman's hand. Rings are catching the light. There are no faces. It's just an implication of intimacy. It's a puzzle.
It's designed to be decoded by the audience.
Yes, it's a performance designed to generate speculation. It begs the question, who is it? Who is she with? It turns their new relationship into a plot point for everyone else's consumption.
And Kabir reposts it to his story with a single word, mine, and a red heart emoji.
Boom. Mic drop. Power couple status established. They aren't just students anymore. They are the protagonists of the college experience. They are the A-plot, and everyone else is just a side character.
But look at Maya's reaction. This is where Swapnil just twists that knife a little deeper. Maya sees it, and she likes the post.
She still tries to participate. That's the real tragedy here. After all the silence, all the erasure, she hasn't given up yet. She still holds out hope. She thinks, maybe if I celebrate them, they will finally see me.
She starts to type a comment, so happy for you guys.
But then she hesitates. The exclamation point feels like too much effort. It feels desperate. She second-guesses herself. She deletes it.
And she settles for a single thumbs-up emoji reaction.
Which is the most passive, defeated symbol in the entire digital lexicon. It's the emoji equivalent of shrugging. It says, I acknowledge this exists, but I know I am not a part of it.
But then she tries to reclaim her own narrative. She tries to be the main character for just 1 second. She pokes her own Instagram story.
The coffee cup.
A half-empty coffee cup, artfully shot in a dim light. And the caption, sometimes you're just extra.
It's a cry for help wrapped in a self-deprecating joke. It's what you'd call performative vulnerability. She's putting a little bit of her pain out there, hoping someone, anyone, will slide into her DMs and ask, hey, you okay?
And what does Swapnil show us next? He doesn't show us her face.
He shows us the metrics.
3 views.
3. In a batch of hundreds of so-called friends, 3 people sought her cry for help.
And then she deletes it.
That detail absolutely destroys me. It's not just that she's sad, it's that she put her sadness out into the world and the world just scrolled right past it. The isolation is total and quantifiable.
And Swapnil reinforces this visually throughout the story with the photography motif. Have you noticed how Maya appears or doesn't appear in photos throughout the college years?
Yes, It's a progression of her literally fading away. It's almost cinematic. You can see Swapnil directing the camera here, choosing what's in focus.
At the freshers' party, she's a blur in the background of someone else's selfie.
At a terrace party in the second year, she's half cropped out of a group shot. You can see her shoulder, but her face is gone. She's an artifact in the image, not a subject.
And then graduation. This is the climax of the visual erasure. This is the moment that sums it all up.
The big group is gathering for the final official class photo. Everyone is shouting, laughing. Someone yells, "Squeeze in, everyone!" And Maya steps forward. She wants to be in this memory. She needs proof she was there.
And just as the photographer raises the camera, someone taller steps directly in front of her.
And she doesn't protest. She just steps back. She accommodates her own erasure. And in the final photo, the official document of their 4 years together, she is barely a sliver of a shoulder, a fragment.
Swapnil isn't just describing bad photography, he's describing the physical act of marginalization. The group, consciously or not, literally pushes her out of the frame of her own life history. She was there for 4 years, but if you look at the album, she's a ghost.
Which makes the transition to Section 4 so chillingly perfect, because she finally becomes a ghost, or at least she becomes a haunting.
Section 4, the escalation. The anonymous mirror. This is where the genre of the story completely shifts. We move from a sad, quiet college drama to a full-blown psychological thriller.
The texts start coming from that number, plus 91 unknown. And they stop being vague. They get specific. They get personal.
Funny how silence works only when it's convenient.
That's from Chapter 7. And then later, another one sent directly to Arav. You notice more than you admit.
And one to Kabir. You chose who mattered.
It's psychological warfare. The group chat, which was once a place of jokes and memes, goes completely silent. They're terrified. But why? Why are they so terrified of a few text messages?
Because they know it's true.
Exactly. That's the key. If
Right.
it was all lies, if it was just some random spam, they could laugh it off. Who is this crazy person? But they can't laugh because their conscience is screaming. They know they chose who mattered. They know they noticed and did nothing.
The silence in the group chat becomes heavy. That's the word Swapnil uses. It's not an empty silence anymore. It's a pressurized silence. It's full of guilt. It's waiting for the other shoe to drop.
And then comes the reveal. Arav is scrolling through his contact list late at night, trying to figure out who this number could possibly be. He's playing detective. And he realizes he has this number saved already.
He has it saved under the name Maya.
But the messages he's receiving are from unknown.
She was there the whole time.
She split herself in two. There was the Maya in the contact list, the one everyone ignored, the one who posted the sad coffee cup that got 3 views. And then there's the unknown, the one everyone feared, the one whose messages everyone read immediately.
That is such a profound and heartbreaking observation about our digital lives. People listened when I was anonymous. They ignored me when I wasn't.
That's the thesis statement of The Haunting. The only way for her to be heard in this group, the only way to have power, was to strip away her own identity, to become a monster, because they would not listen to the human being.
Which brings us to the breaking point. Section 5, the climax. The empty chair.
Chapter 13, the library courtyard.
And again, Swapnil sets the scene so beautifully. It's 4:00 p.m. The afternoon sun is out. You can hear the sound of a fountain. It's not a dark, spooky alley. It's a bright, open, public space.
And the confrontation itself is quiet. This is not a screaming match. There's no dramatic music swelling. It's uncomfortable.
Arav meets her, and she doesn't yell at him. She just shows him the screenshots on her phone.
The double ticks, the receipts, the proof.
She doesn't need to argue or raise her voice. The evidence is right there in black and white, well, blue and gray. Messages seen, messages ignored, timestamps lining up perfectly with their online status.
And Arav, poor complicit Arav. He tries to defend himself. He tries to defend the group. He asks that question. Why didn't you just...
Implying, why didn't you just speak up more? Why didn't you fight harder for your place? It's a form of victim blaming.
And she cuts him off, mid-sentence, with 3 words. I tried. You were there.
You were there. That line just shuts down every possible defense. It's an indictment.
It indicts him not as a perpetrator, but as a witness. You saw the silence. You saw the exclusion. You had the timetable. You did nothing. Your inaction was a choice.
And there is absolutely no forgiveness in this scene. I kept waiting for the hug, for the "it's okay, we were just kids" moment that you get in movies.
But Swapnil denies us that catharsis. And he should. Because that would be cheap. That would be letting us, the listeners, off the hook too. Instead, Maya says, I needed someone then, not now.
She gets up and leaves him sitting there, with the empty chair opposite him.
It's the perfect physical manifestation of the empty space she occupied in their group chat for 4 years. Now, Arav has to sit with it. He has to feel the weight of that absence. He has to confront what he allowed to happen.
And finally, that brings us to Section 6, the impact, the airport, and the end.
Chapter 15, the departure.
Arav goes to the airport. He knows she's leaving the country. Why does he go? What's he hoping to achieve?
I don't think he knows. I think he goes to stop lying to himself. He says it in his narration, I think I'm here so I don't lie to myself later. He wants to believe he's the kind of guy who shows up in the end.
It's one last attempt at performance.
It is. He wants the romantic, cinematic ending where he catches her at the gate and everything is resolved.
But Maya, she looks different. She's not dressed up. She's wearing an oversized hoodie. Her hair is tied back.
The text calls her Maya, without an audience. She's dropped the mask. She's not trying to squeeze into the frame anymore. She's just a person staring at the exit sign.
And she delivers the final lesson of the story, the true definition of the double tick.
She says, double tick doesn't mean you cared. It just means you were there.
Wow. Let's let that sink in for a second.
It completely redefines the technology we use every single day. We think of the double tick as a sign of communication, a confirmation of connection. Oh, good, they got my message. She redefines it as a symbol of witnessing. You witnessed my pain, you saw my question, you saw my existence, and you did nothing. It's not a receipt of delivery. It's a receipt of apathy.
She sends that exact message to the whole group. Double tick doesn't mean you cared. It just means you were there. And then she leaves the group. For good.
And the reaction is so telling. The group chat immediately explodes, not with apologies, but with defense.
Yeah.
What does that even mean? Why is she being so dramatic? God, she's so extra.
They are frantically trying to protect their own egos.
Exactly. They're trying to prove we weren't that bad. She's the crazy one. They're rewriting history in real time to make themselves the victims of her drama. But Maya's already gone. She walks away. The plane takes off. The performance is over.
But the story doesn't end there. We have the epilogue, the lingering echo.
Chapter 16.
Arav is alone in his room. The silence is back. But now it's his silence. It's the silence of his own conscience.
He finds Maya's new social media account. She's in a different city. The photos have a softer light. And the caption on her latest post is, I don't need to be chosen to matter.
She escaped. She found her self-worth outside of the container that they built for her.
But Arav is still trapped in the pattern. He hasn't escaped.
And then we get the final gut-punching beat of the story. A new WhatsApp group notification pops up on his phone.
Of course it does. The cycle continues. The name of the group is Batch of 2026 Alumni.
And a girl named Priya asks a question. Hi, everyone. I was pretty quiet in college, but I'd love to actually get to know people now.
It's Maya 2.0. It is the exact same scenario playing out all over again. The universe is testing Arav. Has you learned anything?
Seen by 89. No replies. The silence begins again.
And here's where Swapnil just leaves us hanging. Arav types a reply.
Hey, Priya.
He types.
He stops.
His thumb hovers over the send button.
And the story ends. On the hover.
We don't know if he sends it. It just cuts to black.
Yeah, we don't know. And that is the absolute brilliance of this ending. Swapnil doesn't give us an easy answer. He forces the listener or the reader to inhabit that moment of indecision. He makes us the ones with our thumb over the screen.
If he sends it, he breaks the cycle. He becomes a better person. If he deletes it, he becomes the new Kabir. He perpetuates the silence.
And statistics say, human nature says, he probably deletes it. Because the fear of the group, the fear of being the one to break the cool silence, is almost always stronger than the empathy for the one lone individual.
That is just a devastating conclusion to come to.
It is, but it's honest. It feels true.
So let's unpack this. What does this all mean? Why does this story hit so hard in a world saturated with stories?
I think the goal isn't about the goal of graduating college. It's about the goal of genuine human connection and how spectacularly we fail at it, even when we have more tools to connect than ever before.
It's about the double tick. It is. That little icon is a symbol of passive cruelty. We live in an age where we have literally quantified attention. We know to the second when someone has seen our message, and because we can see that someone saw it, the act of not replying isn't just an accident anymore. It becomes an act of choice.
It used to be, oh, maybe they didn't get my letter. Maybe they're not home to answer the phone.
Right. There was plausible deniability built into the system. It gave us an out.
Now we know. You held the phone in your hand, you saw the light from the screen, you saw my name pop up, and you chose silence.
And that choice is where the violence lives. It's a tiny microaggression that, when repeated hundreds of times, becomes a macroaggression that can define someone's entire experience.
I want to go back to the swapnil factor here because we have to give credit to the author for his restraint. He could have made Maya a literal ghost. He could have made her a vengeful spirit who haunts their phones with some kind of supernatural power.
But he didn't. He kept her completely human. And that's so much scarier. Because it means the monsters aren't supernatural either. The monsters are just us.
Us being lazy, us trying to be cool, us being scared to be the first one to speak up.
It creates this profound discomfort. I finished reading this document, and I immediately opened my own WhatsApp. I looked at my archived chats. I looked at the groups I've muted because they're annoying.
That's the point, isn't it? The story is a mirror. It's not about them. It's about you.
It forces you to ask the question, who is the Maya in your group chat?
And more importantly, are you the Arav? Are you the one who notices, who feels a little pang of guilt, who types, hey, I can help with that, and then deletes it because you don't want to be the only one speaking into the void?
It's the bystander effect, digitized for the 21st century.
And it's amplified. Because in a physical room, if someone asks a question and 38 people just stare at them in silence, it's painfully awkward. You can feel the tension in the air.
But in a chat, it's just pixels. It's so much easier to ignore. You can just close the app, you can put your phone face down and pretend it didn't happen.
But the emotional weight is exactly the same for the person on the other end staring at those two blue ticks.
As Maya said, silence has weight.
I just keep coming back to that final image. The hover, the thumb hovering over the glass screen. It's such a small, tiny physical action. But the difference between pressing send and pressing delete is the difference between empathy and erasure.
And Swapnil leaves us right on that nice edge. He doesn't tell us what to do. He just shows us the devastating cost of doing nothing.
The cost is an empty chair in a library courtyard. The cost is a friend you never really knew because you were too busy looking at the cool kid table.
The cost is looking back at a graduation photo 10 years from now and realizing you literally cropped someone out of existence and you don't even remember their name.
This has been heavy, but necessary, I think.
Absolutely. It's a perfect anatomy of modern social dynamics. It should be required reading.
So if you're listening to this and you have a group chat on your phone, and I know you do, maybe scroll up. Maybe look for the question that never got an answer. Maybe check in on the person who just stopped posting 3 months ago.
Don't just watch the ticks turn blue and move on.
Exactly. Don't be a spectator in your own life or in the lives of the people around you.
Be the one who breaks the silence.
Yeah.
Even if it feels awkward. Even if nobody else does it. Be the one who sends the message.
That's it for this deep dive into the goal. We hope you sleep well tonight. And if your phone vibrates at 2:17 a.m., maybe you don't ignore it.
Or maybe answer it and just say hello.
Just make sure you aren't the one leaving someone on read. Thanks for listening. We'll see you in the next deep dive.
Goodbye.